Yo, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be counting down the top 10 fastest cars in GTA Online as of 2026. Anyway, in today's video, we're looking purely at top speed, ranked from number 10 all the way down to the fastest car in the entire game. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's get straight into it. Starting off the list at number 10, we have the Grotti Turismo Classic, which is based on the Ferrari F40. Now, with the HSW upgrade, this car reached the top speed of 151 miles per hour. Without the HSW, the speed drops to around 121 miles per hour, which makes it the second fastest sports classic in the entire game. Another big advantage is the price, costing 705k, which is actually one of the cheapest cars on this list. Next, at number 9, we have the OG Bravado Banshee, based on the Dodge Viper. With the HSW upgrade, the Banshee reaches a top speed of 153 miles per hour, but without the HSW, it drops down to about 119 miles per hour. What makes this car really interesting is the price. The Banshee only costs around 105k, which is insanely cheap compared to most vehicles in GTA Online. However, the HSW conversion will cost you around $1.8 million, but once you do add the HSW upgrade, this thing becomes an absolute rocket in a straight line, and easily earns its place among the fastest cars in the entire game. At number 8, we have the Vapid FMJ Mark V, based on the Ford GT Mark IV. With the HSW, this car reaches the top speed of 155 miles per hour, and without the HSW, the speed sits around 134 miles per hour. The FMJ Mark V is a very aggressive looking hypercar, and it performs extremely well when it comes to raw speed, and it's also one of the best supercars for racing. Overall, a ridiculously fast car, and the price for the FMJ sits around $3 million. Next, coming in at number 7, we have the Benefactor Sterling GT, based on the Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR. With the HSW upgrade, the Sterling GT reaches a top speed of 156 miles per hour, which does make it the fastest sports classic in the entire game. But without the HSW, the speed drops to around 113 miles per hour. It also happens to be one of the better value vehicles here, costing around 975k. At number 6, we have the Karin S95, based on the Toyota GT86. With the HSW upgrade, the S95 reaches the top speed of 157 miles per hour, while the non-HSW version tops out around 160 miles per hour. This car was originally introduced as one of the first HSW vehicles, and it quickly became popular because of how well it performs compared to its price. At around $2 million, it's not exactly cheap, but with the HSW upgrade, it becomes one of the fastest cars in the game. Halfway through the list, at number 5, we have the Declasse Vigero ZX, based on the 6th generation Chevrolet Camaro. With the HSW upgrade, the Vigero ZX reaches a top speed of 158 miles per hour. Without the HSW, it drops to around 125 miles per hour. There are actually two versions of this car in the game, the regular Vigero and the convertible, both performing basically the same. The only difference being the price, and obviously one's convertible and one isn't. If you want to save a little bit of money, go with the regular Vigero, costing around $2 million, and if you do want the convertible, that will cost you an extra 300k, totaling $2.3 million. At number 4, we have the Ubermax Niobe, inspired by the BMW i8. Now, with the HSW upgrade, the Niobe reaches a top speed of 160 miles per hour, while the standard version sits around 127 miles per hour. The Niobe is one of the newer vehicles added into the game, and ever since it's released, it's been one of, if not the best car for racing in the sports category. At around $1.9 million, it's also pretty affordable compared to some other cars in the top 10. Now, breaking into the top 3, we have the Declasse Tampa GT, which is based on the 1967 Plymouth Belvedere GTX. I don't know if I mentioned that correct. With the HSW upgrades, this car reaches a top speed of 166 miles per hour, while the non-HSW version tops out at around 130 miles per hour. Now, the Tampa GT is a muscle car, which makes its performance even more impressive because it manages to compete with some of the fastest supercars and hypercars in the entire game. However, this car does have horrible handling, and I would not recommend it for racing, unless you're racing in a straight line. At around $1.3 million, it's also one of the cheaper cars this high up on the list. Now, at number 2, we have the Grotti Stinger TT, based on the Ferrari Roma. Now, with the HSW upgrade, the Stinger reaches a massive top speed of 169 miles per hour, and without the HSW, the speed drops to around 132 miles per hour. Now, the Stinger TT is widely considered as one of the most powerful HSW vehicles in the entire game, and it performs extremely well both in a straight line and in general performance, and the price for this sits around $2.4 million. And finally, taking the number 1 spot as the fastest car in GTA Online, we have the Bravado Banshee GTS, based on the Dodge Viper GTS. With the HSW upgrade, this car reaches an insane top speed of 173 miles per hour, making it the fastest vehicle currently available in GTA Online. And without the HSW upgrade, the top speed drops to around 138 miles per hour, which is still extremely fast. The Banshee GTS will cost you around $2 million, and considering performance you get, it's easily one of the best value high-speed cars in the entire game. And that is the top 10 fastest cars in GTA Online as of March 2026. If you guys enjoyed the video and you want to see more content like this, make sure to sub to the channel so you don't miss any future uploads. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.